Prajaka Stotra Satasi Simad. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Brinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Koho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Syamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Yamuna Devi Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarane. Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavat Purana, Canto 2, the Cosmic Manifestation, Chapter 2, the Lord in the Heart, text number 15. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Stiram Sukam Chasanam Astito Yatir Yada Jihasur Imam Anga Lokam Kale Cha Deshe Cha Mano Na Sajjayet Pranan Niyachchain Manasa Jitasu Stiram Sukam Jasanam Astito Yatir Yajaji Hasur Imang Angalokam Kale Chadeshe Chamanona Sajjayet Prananiyachchain Manasa Jitasu Stiram Sukam Chasanam Astito Yatir Yadaji Hasur Imam Angalokam Kale Chadeshe Cha Manona Sajjayet Prananiyachchain Manasa Jitasu Stirang Sukam Chasanam Astito Yatir Yajaji Hasur Imang Angalokam Kale Chadeshe Cha Manona Sajjayet Prananiyachchain Manasa Jitasu Prananiyachchain Manasa Jitasu. Please chant. Ladies, anyone else? Stiram, without being disturbed. Sukham, comfortable. Cha, also. Asanam, sitting accommodation. Astitaha, being situated. Yati, the sage. Yada, whenever. Jihasu, desires to give up. Imam, this. Anga, O king. Lokam, this body. Kale, in time. Cha, and. Deshe, in a proper place. Cha, also. Mana, the mind. Na, not. Sajjait, may not be perplexed. Pranan, the senses. Niyachchet, must control. Manasa, by the mind. Jata asu, conquering the life air. O king, whenever the yogi desires to leave this planet of human beings, he should not be perplexed about the proper time or place, but should comfortably sit without being disturbed, and regulating the life air, should control the senses by the mind. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, text 14, it is clearly stated that a person who is totally engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord and who constantly remembers Him at every step easily obtains the mercy of the Lord by entering into His personal contact. Such devotees do not need to seek an opportune moment to leave the present body. But those who are mixed devotees, alloyed with fruitive action or empirical philosophical speculation, require an opportune moment for quitting this body. For them, the opportune moments are stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, verses 23 through 26. But these opportune moments are not as important as once being a successful yogi who was able to quit his body as he likes. Such a yogi must be competent to control his senses by the mind. The mind is easily conquered simply by engaging it at the lotus feet of the Lord. Gradually, by such service, all the senses become automatically engaged in the service of the Lord. That is the way of merging into the Supreme Absolute. Trinadapi sunichena, Toradiva sahishnuna, Amanina manadena, Kirtaniya sadahari, Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kivalam, Kalo nastyeva, nastyeva, nastyeva gatiranyata. So in today's verse, two words that stick out to me: stiram, without being disturbed, and this other word, sajjayate, may not be perplexed. This is what the whole human life is about. The material existence, because we have a material body, we are always suffering from different kinds of miseries. Miseries from our own body and mind, sufferings caused by other living entities, and sufferings caused by higher dimensions, the demigods. And we learn from Bhagavad Gita what are the four real evils. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam. These are the four evils: birth, death, old age, and disease. Right now, the big news: disease. Deadly virus. Big news, causing so much havoc and coming to a theater near you. Welcome to material existence. But the yogi has to become undisturbed. And then he cannot become perplexed or bewildered, because that is the nature of this material existence. It forces you to become perplexed, bewildered. We make so many plans to enjoy. We make so many plans how to be happy. But we all have experience that our plans, our hopes, our aspirations ultimately become baffled. We have the histories in the Bhagavatam. Ravana had a wonderful program. He became baffled. Kamsa established a United Nations of demons. He became bewildered, perplexed, disturbed. Ever since he heard that omen as he's driving the chariot for his sister. Kamsa, you fool! The 8th child of your sister will kill you. From that very moment, Kamsa became perplexed, disturbed. And then later, Narada came to pay a visit. Kamsa, you should know that in your previous life, you were a demon. Your name was Kalanemi, and Lord Vishnu killed you. And guess what, Kamsa? He's coming again to get you. Disturbed and bewildered. The Bhagavad Gita mentions this. Mogasha moga karmano, moga jnana vichetasaha. those who are not devotees, those who do not surrender to Krishna. Because the previous verse, Naman dushkritino muda, prapajante, 4 kinds of rascals do not surrender to God. And what happens? All their aspirations, all their plans, all their desires ultimately baffled, bewildered. This material existence is not meant for, at least you could say, yes, they can enjoy in the heavenly planets. But at least here on earth, there's no real enjoyment. Nothing is fixed. Stock market is not fixed, up and down, up and down. That is because of the modes of nature. We learn from Bhagavad Gita, and Prabhupada mentions elsewhere, it's like waves of the ocean. So Bhagavad Gita points out, sometimes the mode of goodness is prominent, like in the early morning hours. You come to the temple before sunrise, and the modes of nature are calm and peaceful. That's why we do the sadhana in the early morning. Because as the day turns, the mode of passion becomes prominent. When I come here and I take the 1 hour or so drive up, I see right away the mode of passion, the freeway, is already full with cars. Zoom, 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 zoom. And it's dangerous. There are so many times accidents on the way up. And little bit of inattention, that could be me. A little distraction can be fatal. That's why I'm listening to transcendental sound vibration on the way up, the whole ride. I'm listening to transcendental sound vibration. So this material existence, especially here, human form of life, is not meant for enjoyment. It's not designed that way. We learn from the teachings of Bhagavatam, from the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. Material existence is a prison life, a prison term. What is the prison outfit? They wear those orange jumpsuits, and they have the shackles. So what is our orange jumpsuit? The very fact that we have a material body. That is your imprisonment. And Prabhupada writes, what is the shackles? The attraction for sex. That is the shackles. That is what keeps us coming back again and again to another term of material existence. Simply chewing the chewed, trying to enjoy sex life in 8,400,000 different kinds of jumpsuits. Trying to enjoy. But the yogi, the devotee, is trying to, what did the verse say here? Jita asu, conquering the life air, conquering the tendency of wanting to enjoy that which cannot be enjoyed. There is a verse in the first canto, Abhadrani. Abhadrani. Just like we have Subhadra, very auspicious. I was looking at Jagannath, Balaram, and Subhadra today, and call me crazy, but I felt as if they were calling out to me, smiling at me, shining. I was, wow, what's going on? It never happens. So I had to mention. So Subhadra, not Bhadra means auspicious. Subhadra, very auspicious. But this word, Abhadra, inauspicious. And in that verse, Prabhupada translates Abhadrani as the affinity to enjoy material sense gratification. That is inauspicious. This desire to enjoy or exploit this material world. That's not the yogi. That's not the devotee. The non-devotee or the ku-yogi, false yogi, thinks there's something here to enjoy, something here to exploit. But the devotee, the real yogi, no, nothing here to enjoy. This is not the place for enjoyment. So, in the purport, the last couple of sentences are very significant. Such a yogi must be competent to control his senses by the mind. The mind is easily conquered simply by engaging it at the lotus feet of the Lord. The famous shloka, Savai Mana Krishna Padada Vindayor. Maharaj Ambarish practiced all the 9 kinds of devotional service. All of them. Even though you can achieve perfection even by one of them. Ambarish did all 9. But first, Savai Mana Krishna Padada Vindayo. First, he placed his mind at the lotus feet of the Lord. Same way in that song. Bhajahure Mana Sri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare. My dear mind, Govinda Das, the author, is saying to his mind, my dear mind, let's cooperate. Let's not fight one another. If you want to have a friendship or a good marriage, you have to learn to compromise. You have to learn to cooperate. And what did Prabhupada warn us about what would happen after his departure? We have to cooperate. That means sometimes I have to give in to what you want to do, provided it is authorized. But I can't always get my way. That was my big mistake when I first got married. I thought, now I'm married. I will order my wife, make me samosa. And she will run, and after 2 weeks I realized it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. I was thinking, now I'm the boss. But after 2 weeks, it dawned on me, you're not the boss, you fool. You're the DOS. Therefore, my wife has written one song. I'm the servant, not the master. And when I understand, I'll get there faster. Yes. The whole process of Krishna consciousness is learning I'm not the enjoyer, I'm the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. Keep going, servant. Keep going, servant. Keep going, servant. 100 times down. So, fixing the mind on the lotus feet of Krishna is the first instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaito Darpana Marjanam. You cleanse the mirror of the mind or the heart, Chaita, by chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. This is the first order of business. I always like to point out, there's this big kerfuffle, or kofefe, the final order. Yeah, don't worry about the final order. Worry about the first order. Prabhupada writes clearly in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the first order of the spiritual master is to chant sufficiently this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That has to be taken care of first. First order. And in that purport, Prabhupada says that, yes, we should be chanting 24 hours a day, but we can't do it. Therefore, we are given services. But those services, we have to remember, I may be doing a particular service, whether it be deity worship, or working in the kitchen, or going on Sankirtan, or working in the office. The whole purpose of this manual labor is to remind me of Krishna. Therefore, there is no scope for Maya if one is actually functioning on the platform of Krishna consciousness. Because Krishna consciousness means being conscious of Krishna. The businessman. I have met many businessmen all over the world. They have a one-track mind. Money, 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 sweeter than honey. I met many such. They think they meditate on money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But the devotee is supposed to be meditating on Krishna's name, fame, form, pastimes, entourage, paraphernalia, qualities, instructions. This Bhagavatam class is to give you food for thought. That is what this Bhagavatam class is. Give you food for thought so you have something to think about during the day. And I would dare to say it, all of you are so fortunate. I'm not saying you do, but in case you are, in case you're thinking otherwise, you are in Vaikuntha. You are in paradise. Why? Because the way Prabhupada has conceived his temple, this is an embassy of the spiritual world. You go to a foreign country, but if you go to the American embassy, you're not in that country, you're in America. So this is not Los Angeles, or as the Indian people like to say, Culver City Temple. Why? I don't know, but that's what they do. Culver City. No, it's not Culver City. This is Los Angeles, New Dwarka. It is the spiritual world. And that is perceived by you to the degree that you fix your mind on Krishna and try to utilize whatever service you're doing to remember Krishna. So you're protected. You're safe. Yes, because you're in Vaikuntha. Gradually, by such service, all the senses become automatically engaged in the service of the Lord. That was Ambarish. That verse is there. How he used his nose to smell the flowers offered to the Lord, or the incense. He used his eyes to look on the beautiful Sri Murti, the form of the Lord. I recall reading somewhere in Prabhupada's teachings that you can tell how much you are advanced, but how long you can look at the deities without getting distracted. How you can just look at the, and that is why Prabhupada insisted the deities must be dressed gorgeously. Much money is spent to dress and decorate these deities. We are not to be cheap, not supposed to be penny pinchers. So much money is spent simply to make the deities look so attractive, so that when the conditioned soul, the restless mind, comes, it finds something very attractive. The non-devotees have spent billions of dollars making the TV and the movie so attractive. They suck you in. And they have a whole science how to make that film so attractive that you will pay more and more. And now they have 3D movie. You're in it. I want them to make a 3D movie of Nisringa. And you're right there when Nisringa. Yes. But we have here every day. We come and we see the beautiful forms as I experienced this morning. Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra were so attractive to me. Made me so happy. I almost cried. Little, almost, but I'm still contaminated. Ambarish used his hands, legs, to come to the temple. Sometimes he would brush against devotees. All of the senses were used. So we have one verse which is found in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Atakshi Krishna Namadi na bhaved grayam indriyai sevan moke hi jiva dao swayameva spuratyadaha. We should understand that God is not perceived with the blunt, gross material senses. No, the senses have to be purified, have to become Krishnaized. So how is that done? Sevan moke hi jivadao. Jiva, the tongue. That is the beginning. Krishna consciousness, spiritual life begins with the tongue. This is something I learned right from the beginning. I remember that day was the evening. I had met one devotee girl who was going to college. I had shaved off all my hair. I didn't know about Ashika. She saw me at this university. She called me over. Are you a devotee? I go, no, but I want to know how to become a devotee. Oh, I've been a devotee for so many years. So I would ask her questions. Then she would go to class. Then she would come back. I was waiting in the cafeteria. And in between classes, she would answer my questions. Then at around 3 o'clock, she said, well, I have to go home now. I said, I don't know why I said, but can you take me to the temple? And she said, all right. So I got in her car. We went to her parents' house, and she cut up some fruit. I've never had cut up fruit. I said, wow, this is amazing. And she said, I have to get ready. So she gave me some cut up apples or something. And after 20 minutes, she came out and I saw this beautiful angel with tilak and a sari. I was like, wow. Then she gave me beads. She said, we have to go now. So we drove from Long Island to Brooklyn. And she had one hand on the steering wheel, the other hand, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Back then, we were multi-talented. We could do so many things. And I was also trying to chant for the first time on beads. She gave me some beads. And then we got to the temple, and the first person who opened the door was Omkar Dasi, who also looked like an angel. And then after seeing the black form of Govinda, I said, wow, this is far out. Black God. Yeah, this is cool, man. They took me downstairs and sat me down. And they brought a piece of wax paper with some green slop. What is that? They said, oh, this is prasadam, mahaprasadam. So I was hungry. I hadn't eaten all day. So I licked that up. I jumped up. Give me more. Give me more. Gotta come back tomorrow. So I know the power of the tongue. I had never tasted anything in my life like that green. My mother would make spinach. I'd spit it out. I hated spinach. I couldn't understand Popeye. I hated spinach. But this spinach was better than any ice cream I had ever eaten. So delicious. What an experience. So I am convinced nobody can take this away from me. This is my experience. That simply by engaging the tongue, what do I like to do? If you give me a choice, what do I like to do? I like to talk about Krishna. The astrologer told my wife, Varuni, your husband is one big mouth. All of his planets are in his mouth. So I accepted that. I must use my mouth for Krishna. So that's my service. Either I'm recording Krishna or doing programs. I'm talking, singing, talking about Krishna. And then, of course, after you do 2-hour program, let's take prasad. Sharira Vijada. Yes. The words that'll wake even a dying man. So this principle, the tongue, has to be used to describe Krishna and to eat Krishna prasadam. If this is done, then we will become Krishna conscious and ultimately lovers of God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Maharaj, anything you want to add, subtract? Any discussion? Any points? Yes, Brigu, Pati, Dasa.
Some thought has to be there. Yet, there's an instruction when this devotee asked Prabhupada, what do we think about when we're chanting? And Prabhupada said, you don't think, you just chant. So, how is that? And it was like...
Okay, you want to, go ahead.
Go ahead, no, that's it. I just want to know.
So,
it sounds like a contradiction.
The thing is, if you're actually... the mind is doing its thing. Like you said, the mind is always never vacant. So the trick to chanting is to listen to the sound you're making. That's the real art of japa. In other words, we've all had experience. We're chanting, but after some time, the mind wanders. And that's only because I'm not paying attention. I'm a musician, okay? So one thing you learn as a musician, you got to pay attention. You got to stay on the beat. And you have to be able to listen to the other musicians. So you don't just blindly perform. You're fixed. You're paying attention. So japa is the same way. We have to pay attention to the syllables. The mind will do its thing, but we simply keep trying to concentrate. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And as soon as you notice that it's wandered, you bring it back under the control of the self. 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So japa is the same thing every day. It's simply trying to pay attention.
Okay. And who is that girl who brought you to the temple?
What's that?
Who is the girl who brought you to the temple?
Her name was Devi Dasi. Do you remember her from Brooklyn? To this day, if I see her, I offer my dandavats to her because she brought me to the temple. I owe her my life. Anything else? All glories to this Krishna consciousness movement.